Hello, you guys. We're back for another week of my weekly reading diary. I'm really excited so that I can give you guys some updates on what I've been reading. I have had a great reading week. I really have. I was so proud of myself because I finished a book in a week. That's really fast for me.
I pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
I know there's a lot of people out there that this is some serious novice stuff, but for me, finishing a book in a week is pretty impressive for myself. The book had a grip on me, and I had to finish it. And for wondering what book I'm talking about here, I'll just go ahead and get started. This week, I read and finished Beartown. This was my first Fredrick Backman book. I have heard so many things about this one. I knew that this was probably going to be a very deeply emotional, dark, heavy read. I knew that going in. I didn't look up anything because I just wanted to find out for myself and really let the story take me on that journey. Wow, I'm so impressed with this writing. I really am. I was just really in the mood for a literary fiction read. I haven't read one in a while. This is exactly what I needed, wanted, and more. I fell in love with this story, with this town. It was so descriptive. Fredrick Backman had such a way with developing characters. If you are someone who feels like it takes a while for you to get into a book if it's just talking about the characters and their feelings and their thoughts, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe this one's not for you. But I am that person because I can't care about a story unless I care about the characters. These characters were so fleshed out. I still feel like I know them. I feel like I've been to Beartown. I've lived in Beartown. I know every single person in this community. Like, it's crazy whenever an author can do this, where you feel like any person in this book, you'd be like, oh yeah, of course Peter would do something like that, and oh no. I know what things a character would and would not do because that's how well I know all of the characters in this book. The best part about these characters as well, they're complex. They're morally gray, a lot of them. They have a lot of flaws, okay? Like every human ever. The only thing that they really have in this town is hockey and this hockey team. That's the only thing that's honestly driving the town's economy because they put all of their money into this hockey team. They put all of their money into this hockey program so that way the town can thrive, because if their hockey team is good, they get to build all of this stuff. More investors come. If they are known for hockey, more money gets poured into the town. Thus the trickle effect to the rest of the businesses in town. So that is why this is such a huge emphasis in this town. And not only that, it makes the stakes that much higher for these characters, because if they don't have hockey, they don't have anything. And that can put a person into a very dark place. Yeah, it was just an emotional roller coaster, and then something very terrible, tragic, traumatizing happens to somebody in the town. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And it just throws the whole town into an outrage, into a very big spiral. The whole time, I had an inclination that I knew what was going to happen, but when we got to the end of the book, I was shocked. I got chills. It was not the ending I was expecting, and I'm glad, because it was so much better than what I was expecting. So glad that there are 2 more books after this to read, which I didn't even know. I picked this book up thinking it was a standalone. I didn't do really much research besides the fact that people were recommending it on BookTube. I guess I never really picked up that this was a trilogy. I'm definitely gonna read those at some point. Probably not anytime soon. I just have too many other ones that I need to get to, but I'm sure that I'll get to a point where I will miss these characters. And there is one other question that we were kind of left with without an answer that I'm assuming is the main driver for the other 2. This was a 5-star read for me, and this is the first 5-star book of 2025. I thought it would be one for me just based off of how people were describing it, how much rave it was getting. You know, a lot of people that I watch on BookTube where we have very similar tastes, they also gave this 5 stars, so I had a feeling and it did it. I'm so happy that it did. I just wanted a 5-star read so bad, and I got one. So if you have not read Beartown by Fredrick Backman, please look up triggers before you read this. I mean, there were some scenes where I got very misty-eyed. I didn't cry, which I thought I was going to, but I didn't. But I did get chills, and there was a couple scenes where I was misty-eyed. So yeah, I finished Beartown. What else this week? I want to know where I am so I can tell you in Jane Eyre, because I've not finished it yet. I have been listening though. Oh, it's just really long, but I think I have at least roughly 13 hours left in Jane Eyre, which is kind of crazy because I feel like we just got to the meat and potatoes of what's going on. So I don't know. I'm excited where it's going now, but like the first half of this book, I wasn't sure where this story was going based off of what I've heard of it. So yeah, like I said, I'm still trying to make that video. I have been recording some live reactions, so just letting you know. So those are the books that I've been reading this week. Now on to my little mini book haul, because we went to the new Barnes & Noble that opened near me, which I haven't had a Barnes & Noble near me, and I mean near me by within 30 minutes. So now we got a Barnes & Noble. There was a grand opening. It was so cool. It's awesome. I want to go there today. Unfortunately, we are snowed in right now. My driveway is covered in ice, but I don't know. I might have to trudge out there. I really want to go.
Is it spring yet?
Anyways, we went to Barnes & Noble for the grand opening day, and of course, we got some books, okay? Now, I didn't get as many as I thought. I refrained myself just based on how many I have that I still need to read that are currently on my bookshelf. But I picked up The Stranger by Albert Camus? By Albert Camus. I have seen this book talked about by some other booktubers. I'll just read it because I really don't know that much about it, but I recognized this book and it was a really quick, short book. This is something that we could probably get done, in an afternoon. And that's what I'm really looking for right now, is I want some good short stories that I can get done and just have that very satisfying feeling. Because I have been reading some long books recently, and I have some long books on my TBR. But anyway, so this is... Through this story of an ordinary man who unwittingly gets drawn into a senseless murder on a sun-drenched Algerian beach, Camus explores what he termed the nakedness of man faced with the absurd. Now, in an illuminating New American translation, extraordinary for its exactitude and clarity, the original intent of The Stranger is made more immediate. The haunting novel has been given a new life for generations to come. And it was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1957, translated from the French language by Matthew Ward. So I'm excited about this. I don't know, I've seen a lot about this. It's really short. Yeah, people call this a classic, modern day classic. So yeah, I hope to read this week, maybe. Let's see how many pages this is exact. It's only 130 pages. So that's fun. I'm so excited. So if you guys have read this, if anyone else has read this, let me know what your thoughts are, if you liked it, if you think I'll like it. I've been wanting to read this one for so long. I know that I have said that I don't usually read romance, but there are exceptions, okay? That's gonna be Emily Henry, all right? I needed another Emily Henry book for my shelf. I needed to read another one because I want to get in the headspace for her new book coming out in March. Yeah, I think it's called Great Beautiful Life. I need to look this up because I don't want to be wrong. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Oh, okay. So I was wrong, but April. Anyway, so Emily Henry, I wanted to get in the headspace. I can go get that whenever it comes out and be a part of the ride with everyone else as we're all reading that. And I haven't read Funny Story yet. And this one, I believe, came out last year. Or maybe the year before that. I can't remember. I've read Beach Read. I've read People We Met on Vacation. And I think that's it. I haven't read Book Lovers yet. But I haven't read Happy Place yet. I'm saving Happy Place for probably May. I want to be in the absolute most prime headspace because I think that one's going to be my favorite Emily Henry book of all time. Just because when it does come to romance, I really love stories about couples that have already had an established relationship, and Happy Place is about two people who have dated, got engaged, and then broke up, and they have to pretend that they are together. So that way their friends don't find out for a vacation that they already planned.
get there faster.
Anyways, that's not Funny Story. That's Happy Place. But Funny Story is the one that I bought. You know, supposed to be very witty, hence the title Funny Story. You know, it's supposed to be very funny. I believe that this is about two people who are roommates and they move in together. It's kind of like friends to lovers, I think. Would Daphne actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex? What? I didn't know that. I thought it was friends to lovers. I'm excited to read this because I love her. I love her writing. I want something that's going to be a little witty, something that's going to get me right in the headspace for her new book coming out. She just writes the best romance. I don't usually like picking up romance, but the way that she writes it, it's so good. So that is what I picked up at the new Barnes & Noble. That was it for my book haul of books I bought. Then I've had this book on hold at the library. As soon as it came out and it was released, I knew that I wanted to pick it up. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I know it's kind of shiny, but I got this at the library. I probably will start this one very soon because I don't want to hoard it for anyone else who wants to read it. I don't know, I might have to read this one pretty soon. 427 pages. That's not even, it's like 500 pages. That's long. I mean, it's not really that long, but to be able to get that done kind of soon, I don't know. We got a lot of books, guys. 15-year-old Fern arrives at the home in the sweltering summer of 1970, pregnant, frightened, and alone. Under the watchful eye of the stern Miss Wellwood, she meets a dozen other girls in the same predicament. There's Rose, a hippie who insists she's going to find a way to keep her baby and escape to a commune, and Zinnia, a budding musician who plans to marry her baby's father, and Holly, a wisp of a girl. Everything the girls eat every moment of their waking day and everything they're allowed to talk about is strictly controlled by the adults who claim they know what's best for them. Then Fern meets a librarian who gives her an occult book about witchcraft, and power is in the hands of the girls for the first time. But power can destroy as easily as it creates, and it's never given freely. There's always a price to be paid, and it's usually paid in blood. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Yeah, that is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. He just released this in January, so has not been out for very long. I'm excited to read that, hopefully, in the next coming weeks. And that was my week in books. Oh, I'll give you an update on Golden Sun. I am going to be recording myself reading the very last pages of that book. I think I still have over 100 pages left. That's probably the absolute next thing that I'm reading. I gotta finish it. I gotta get it done so that way I can talk about it. That's my weekly wrap up of what I've read this week, some books I picked up, and some library books that I picked up. So let me know if you guys have read any of these already. Let me know what you think I would like based off some of these other ones that I picked up. I obviously would love hearing from you guys. So I gotta get to reading so that way I can give you guys some updates here. But thanks for being here. Thanks for listening in. And I hope to see you guys in the next weekly reading diary updates. See you guys soon. Thanks so much. See ya.